Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Yevamot, Daf Yomi The Gemara. The Gemara has been discussing the incredible leniencies that we have by an Aishet Ish, that we rely on testimony of one aid, a shivcha, of an evet, to say that her husband died, and that will allow her to remarry, and even we rely on her own testimony that she says that her husband died. The question is, how do we apply this incredible chiddush to the case of Yavam and Yevamot, where Yevamot says, my Yavam has passed away, which means her husband already passed away, that's clear, and now she has to marry her Yavam, and she says, or another witness says, her Yavam passed away. So Gemara goes back and forth. If we rely on the testimony, a lenient testimony of an Isha herself, or one aid by her husband passing away, and that's a question of Issachar, then for sure we should rely on the case of Yibum, where it's an Issar Lav. It's a serious Issar as well for her to marry someone else when she has to do Yibum, but it's not an Issachar by when she's married to her husband. So Gemara says, yes, that's one possibility. On the other hand, maybe there's issues involved. Maybe she wants to testify that her Yavam passed away because she doesn't like him. She doesn't want to marry him, and she's more than happy to somehow get out of it. So Gemara goes back and forth regarding the question of whether we rely on her testimony and whether we rely on the testimony of aid to get her out of Yibum. The Rambam writes in Hilchot Yibum v'Chalitza in Perek Gimel, he writes the following. Neman Aid Echad lahad liyavama shemet bala. An Aid Echad we do rely on to say that her husband passed away. Umit Yevamot al piv, and we now rely on this one aid to say her husband passed away. Oh, shemet Yevama, or we do rely on one aid to say that Yevama passed away. Filu Eved Isha or Akam, and Eved Isha Akam. That just is not knowing that he's testimony for the sake of testimony, for the sake of testimony. We rely on him as well. And why? He says, why rely on this? Aishet Ish latira kamosha bianu Hilchot Gerushin. So just like by Hilchot Gerushin, the word that Rambam that we learned previously, that we do rely on Aid Echad to free her up from Aishet Ish, from her husband, to say that the husband passed away, so too by Yavam. That's regarding Aid Echad. Regarding an Isha, do we rely on the Isha's testimony to say that my Yavam passed away? So the Shulchan Aruch in Kuf Nun Chet in Hilchot Yibum writes, Kashem Sha'isha Ne'emen Loma Meit Bali Shalitnasikan Meit Bali. If we rely on her to say that her husband passed away, now she can marry anyone, or that my husband passed away, so now I can marry my Yavam. We do rely on that. But we don't rely on her testimony to say that her Yavam died. So it turns out in some that when it comes to the leniencies of an Aid Echad, we do rely on that, just like by an Aishet Ish to say that her husband passed away, so to rely on Aid Echad that her Yavam passed away. But regarding the other leniency, that a woman could say that my husband passed away, that we hold yes. To say my husband passed away, we do rely on. But to say that my Yavam passed away, we do not rely on. As the Gemara says, that there could be issues there that she is no gave too much, that she wants her Yavam to pass away, she doesn't like him, and therefore we don't rely on her testimony in this case.